Hey Bookworms, welcome back to the channel and welcome if you're new. It's Sam and today we are doing my April wrap up and May TBR. Ignore the PJs, it's bank holiday and I wanted to be comfortable. I mean, I pretty much wear PJs all the time anyway, so who am I kidding? But hey, I got my hair cut finally. Yay. I mean, I got this cut like about 5 days ago. I haven't got it dyed yet, so if you see grey hairs, ignore them. So, in the month of April, I ended up reading 5 books and I had 3 DNFs, which isn't ideal. But, you know, we just moved on past that. And I would say I had a pretty decent reading month because I had 4 4-stars and 1 5-star, which we'll talk about in a moment. But let's talk about the DNFs first. So, the first book that I ended up DNFing was the Book of Cold Cases. And when I first started this book, I was feeling it. And then slowly just started going downhill for me and I just felt kind of disconnected to the story. And I don't know, if the panel must have felt a little bit cliche. I don't know, I honestly, I just felt really disconnected. And if I feel that way, I'm not going to enjoy the story. So I ended up sending it back because I had got this from Amazon and I still had time to send it back and get money back or switch out for another book. And obviously, if I still got time to do that, I'm going to do it because like money isn't like, you know, we're not rolling in money. So yeah, for me personally, it's more feeling disconnected to the story. Maybe if I'd read it another time, I would have felt more connected. I don't know. I was in a lot of pain, so yeah, I don't know. But next one is Skinful of Shadows. I think that's what it's called. Now, I got this because Meg with Books read this and she loved it. I have noticed that me and Meg have somewhat similar tastes, but she definitely likes things that I don't like, but I love watching her channel anyway. There are a few books that she loves that I do love. This one, on the other hand, was just not my thing. We follow a character who I believe that they're trying to stop the spirits from entering into her body, but one day a bear enters into her body, so she got the spirit of a bear. And it's interesting and it sounds like, you know, an interesting story, but for me, it wasn't my thing. I think I read the first full part of the book and I was like, it's not for me. It's just not for me. Like, I'm just not really feeling this. So yeah, that's another one I end up DNFing. And then the next book, the final book I ended up DNFing, was one that I was really excited for. That is One Italian Summer. Now, I've read In 5 Years by this author and I loved it. This one, however, I feel like could have been... I might not... What am I trying? Words. I do not know words today. So for my problem with this book is it started off really good. Like, I actually think the story itself was pretty decent to where I got to. And I was intrigued to know what was going to happen, but my problem is this author, it's like she wanted to use the word short, but she went on Google and put in other words for short and was like, oh my god, which one do I pick, I'm going to pick the most complicated word. Like, she wouldn't even know what it means herself. And I just feel like with authors, when they start doing that, it just becomes really annoying because you're like, wait, what? Like, and it just, I don't know, it could just be me and I'm stupid. But she overcomplicated it with words that didn't need to be so, like, extravagant. Is that the right word? I don't know. But yeah, for me, it's just like, I'm not saying for her to simplify it, like make the words super simple, but she could use a different word other than short that wasn't where people had to like be like, what does that mean? And if you don't understand the word yourself and you have to Google it and look that up, then should you be using that? I don't know. I think it just got frustrating. And I also predicted like that the guy that she meets was going to be basically this guy that she was going to, I guess, have a romance with. I mean, I think I read someone saying that there was this romance thing, which, to be fair, I understand our main character is grieving, but she's really annoying me. Like, the way she's treating her husband was just like disrespectful. And also my hairband's on my arm too. And I was really disappointed with it because I absolutely love the descriptions of the setting. It's set in Italy and I've been to Italy and I love it. So I was really excited for this one, but yeah, I just ended up getting a little bit annoyed with it and I was like, now move on. Now let's get into the books that I actually did read this month, and this is in no particular order because I've got them in a mixture of order, and one of them was Wrath and Mercy, which is a sequel to The Bright and the Pale. So at the time of reading The Bright and the Pale, I gave that a 5-star. I gave it 5 stars and I absolutely loved it. We follow a character called Val who finds out that her best friend isn't dead, and in order to, I guess, get freedom, they have to go to her, I'm going to forget what it's called again, aren't I? Go to the town that she was born in that got frozen over, and everyone in that town has been frozen. So there's these mountain mines and there's something called Lafite, which is like, I guess, money, or I guess it can be turned into like weapons. It's very powerful and these people want it. Now this book continues straight off from the first one, And this one has a lot of action. Like, there is plenty of action. The first 50 pages is a little bit slow because like building up to what's to come. But otherwise, yeah, this has got plenty of action. The romance between Val and Alec is definitely improved in this one. I know a lot of people did not enjoy the romance in the first one and said that it was a bit meh. And I do agree with that. But in this one, it's definitely a lot better. We have so much going on, and it's kind of hard for me to talk about this one without spoiling the first one, so I don't really want to say too much other than if you're looking for a fantasy, sort of light fantasy book with plenty of action, romance, and fighting your inner demons, then this is definitely it, because our character Val massively grows in this one and somewhat changes, and it was just honestly a really great sequel. I actually gave this one a 4-star though, which is weird because the first one didn't have nowhere near as much action. But I don't feel like it's always about that. Like, a book being rampacked with action doesn't mean that's going to be a 5-star. There was something about the first book that just really captivated me and I fell in love with. And I love this one just as much. Just, it wasn't a 5-star feeling. But I would definitely recommend this series because it's just so good and I love it. And I'm so glad that I finally got to read the sequel. And also, I just finished a series. If you haven't seen my... It's not my latest video. It's one of my newer videos where I talk about all the book series I want to finish or make progress on this year. Then I'll link up the thumbnail here and put it down below so you can check it out. But this was on there and I finished it, so yay me. Next up, I read a romance, which was Lucky Leap Day. This is from the same author who wrote Happy Singles Day, and that was a 4-star read for me, and so is this one. This one is such a cute rom-com. Oh my god, we follow this character, I forget her name. So we follow this character, Cara, who ends up flying out to Ireland and accidentally getting married. So she wakes up in the morning, married to this guy, and she's not too happy, and then it kind of goes back to how they first met and then back to the present time where they're kind of like, well, we need to get divorced, but you're going to have to come home with me so we can just sort out there. And honestly, of course, it doesn't go smoothly. This is such an adorable read. I absolutely love these two characters, and the ending was like so swoon worthy. Like, oh my god, this would make such a perfect rom-com movie. I could just picture it. So yeah, if you're looking for a fun romance and you want to read this around, I don't know, Leap Day, so February time, this would be perfect. You can read it any time of the year, but if you want something specifically that's like dedicated to that time of year, then this would be so perfect. I absolutely adore this. The last book that I actually read this month, so this isn't the last one, but the one I actually finished just like yesterday. So currently as I'm filming, it's the 3rd. So no, I actually finished this 2 days ago on the last day of April, and that was The Dead and the Dark. I kept putting this book off because I was kind of nervous that I wasn't going to like it. And then I was like, you know what? Let's just read it. Let's just read it. I want to break from reading romances. Let's just read it. So we follow two characters, Ashley and Logan. Logan has 2 dads and they are paranormal sort of investigators and have this big TV show and they kind of move around a lot. And her one dad is out in a town called Snakebite where a lot of weird things is happening. So Logan and her other dad end up traveling out there. But things aren't quite what they seem when they get there. Like, people seem to be a bit homophobic towards the dads and just not like them in general. People kind of blame them for these disappearances that are happening, and Logan doesn't feel very welcome in this town. And then we have Ashley, whose boyfriend disappeared a few months ago and hasn't been seen since, and yeah, she's very skeptical of these people, especially Brandon, because obviously her boyfriend disappeared when he arrived. And this book is absolutely creepy as hell. We're set in like this little small town called Snakebite that is so creepy. It gives you all the creepy vibes. A small town, close-knit sort of community. Teenagers are disappearing and turning up dead, and there's all this weird paranormal things that are happening, and there's a lot of secrets as well, like being kept. And this is the perfect murder mystery, paranormal, spooky, thrilling book if you're looking for something like that. This was just honestly at times so creepy. So if you are looking for something spooky with a great mystery and secrets and twists, then I would highly recommend this one. I gave this one a 4 stars. Oh my god, speaking today, right? And I'm definitely going to be reading her next book that comes out, I think, around the end of the year. And again, it's kind of got a paranormal vibe to it by sound of it. So yeah, this is a lot of fun and I'm super glad that I picked it up. Then I read The Sweet Spot by Trish Stroller. I said that weird. She's the one who wrote The Float Plan, one of my favourite contemporary romance books ever. And going into this one, I did not know that we were following Anna's sister. So Anna's from the first book, Float Plan, and we follow her sister in this one, which is called Rachel. And yeah, I was super excited because Anna and Keen, I guess Americans pronounce it, are actually appear in this book a few times, and I was like, oh my god, I'm dying. This book is a contemporary romance, which means we do get mentions of trial, death, sexual harassment, and suicide, which is from the previous book. So definitely be warned going into this. This is honestly such a cute little romance, and I fell in love with the setting. I fell in love with the characters. I absolutely adored Rachel. And Tristus has this way of making you engulfed into the world and just rooting for these characters all the way, and I did. I absolutely loved it. Our character, Rachel, ends up getting let go from her job because one of the high sort of guests there, like he's very high up, you know, he's like got a lot of money, tries to make a move on her, and she says no, and he isn't really taking no for an answer. She ends up getting out of the room, and then they come to her and say that he's made a complaint against her. And they're like, well, if you just apologise to him, then you can keep your job. But she's like, how no? And so she gets fired. So she's looking for a new job because, you know, she's living at home with her mum and she's got her little girl. And she ends up getting told about this job out, I think it's a couple hours away from where she lives. The job is on this island. This guy's building this hotel. But she doesn't quite know the hotel hasn't been built yet. So when she gets there, she's kind of shocked. And yeah, she's kind of thrown into this chaotic mess helping this guy build his hotel, but at the same time she completely loves it, and it's just a really cool setting, and I highly recommend it if you like contemporary romances. It's definitely slow burn, so if you don't know slow burn romances, then you might not like this, but I feel like that's just what made this so perfect, the slow burn romance with these characters that had their own like past issues going on and how they both helped each other. And I don't know, this was just honestly beautifully written. So the final book on this list, I actually did a reading vlog for, so here, you should go and check that out, because I'm not going to go into too much detail on my thoughts, because you can check that out and hear my thoughts on this book. And that was The No-Show by Beth O'Leary. So like I said, check out the reading vlog, because I go into a lot more details on my thoughts for this book in that video. And I won't give anything away, but this book was a punch to the gut. This book had twists. It completely took a whole 180. Yeah, I did not see what happened nearer to the last 150 pages come in. I could not have guessed it, and I was literally shook. Like I did not like the character Joseph, right? I was like, he's a pig, I did not like him. But then near the end of the book, you completely understand this character, and you're kind of like, I did not see that coming. I cried. This book made me cry. In fact, I couldn't even read for a whole day after, because this book just like rammed itself into my heart, broke it, and yeah, it somewhat healed it, but I still feel kind of broken by what happened in this book. Like I'm still like shocked. Yeah, I'm literally still speechless. I don't really know what to say other than Beth O'Leary clearly thought and planned out this book so well that you can tell a lot of effort was put into this book, and just well done to her. I don't imagine any of her other books beating this one, but yeah, check out my reading vlog for this one. I give a lot more details on my thoughts and feelings, and you'll see how my thoughts change through the vlog. And I definitely think this is my favourite vlog that I've done, and I'm so glad that I did this. Okay, so now let's move on to the May TBR. So for my May TBR, I thought I would let Irvin choose the prompts, because this is the month of his birthday. In fact, by the time this video goes up, the 5th of May, fingers crossed, it's his birthday. So happy birthday, Irvin, and comment below, guys, happy birthday. So let's bring Irvin in. I've already got one book I am reading this month, because I've already started it, which I will show you guys now, and that is A Brush of Love. I am just over 100 pages in, so that's one of the books I am going to be reading this month, and I'll continue. Oh geez. So Irvin is now going to be giving me 7 prompts, and yeah, like I said, it's his birthday. 7 prompts. So let's begin with the first prompt. And I've asked him to be nice, because the last 2 months I've been, you know, not great. So just remember that, definitely. Also, guys, he got a haircut as well. Looks good.
A book title with white lettering. Will that get copyrighted?
Probably.
I'm just singing a nice traditional song. Yeah.
Stop it! No. There's the whole book have to
Just pick one.
Does the whole thing have to be white?
No.
What? Can one letter to be white?
What do you mean one letter? Where's one letter white?
I don't know. Like, does it have to be the title of the book?
Title, yeah. You're making it sound like some of these books you don't actually want to read. You bought all these to read.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to pick the therapist because I've had this on my shelf for a while. This took a while. So yeah, for that prompt, I'm going to pick the therapist and see what the fuss about. Also, Evan absolutely hates this cover.
She took that long. It's my next birthday.
Okay, for
She just wears the same thing all year. And me.
Yeah.
You got ketchup.
Oh, I really got ketchup. Whatever. Prompt number 2.
Okay, prompt number 2. Something with... Something with the shape.
That'd be nice.
It's nice.
I feel like you're being mean.
Oh, a triangle.
Seriously? Really?
Yeah. Look, you got kind of a triangle shape there. Oh, there you go. Volcano's triangle.
It's volcano's triangle. So this works because I come on.
How was that easier? How is that easier than white lettering?
Because I was limited. So yeah, for that one I'm going to pick The Cove. I actually recently got this one on sale for $9.99. So yeah, it's actually a new book. Oh
Good
gosh.
job. Good job.
Okay, so for the third.
The third one is a book with sprayed edges.
Okay,
Ooh.
so I'm going to pick Gallant by C.E. Shrub because I want to say I thought I would have read this by now, and it's got sprayed edges.
It's a tiny book.
It is really small. I've had mixed reviews of this one, so I'm kind of nervous. It's like paperback.
It's like the size of a paperback.
Yeah. So yeah, Gallant. Right, moving on to the fourth prompt.
Next one. A book with... It's an easy one. With lines.
What the F does that mean?
Lines.
What do you mean, lines?
Look, this one has lines. Oh look, it's a book I keep bringing up.
I literally asked you to be so nice, and all you've done to be a douche. So I'm going for Reckless Girls. It has got lines. Got a line here.
One there.
Got lines in the back. So Reckless Girls, this is the person who wrote Wife at Stash, which I really enjoyed, so I'm really looking forward to this one.
Fifth one is a book with a gradient.
What's that mean? What? You're joking, yeah?
No. So this one is really easy. Like all you have to do is find a book, like for example, you'll have a dark blue to blue and it sort of blends in. That one doesn't. Then you got Colleen Hoover.
Which one are you pointing to?
Colleen Hoover!
Alright.
You know Colleen Hoover, you know Colleen. You got Apples Never Fall. You got Reminders of Him. You got Chicken Shop.
Can I have one thing where I say switch out prompt? Okay, so this is, I can't ask this again, right?
Mm.
I feel like this stage. Okay, so we switch out the prompt because I feel like that's... It sucked.
God. Terrible.
You could just be like, book with pink on the...
No, you got this one, Gradient, you got Colleen
I don't want to
Hoover,
read it.
you got The Passengers.
So this is the fifth prompt, I'm switching out, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
With what?
What you pick?
Oh, okay. Something with...
Something which you could say a genre or a colour or the person, let's say something which that's boring, that's all he said.
She's getting triggered!
God.
Okay, fine. Something with...
I'm gonna cry.
Okay. Something with...
God.
3 colours.
It's got 3 colours. Pink, yellow, blue. Class, please stop it. It has got 3 colours.
Okay.
It works. What do you mean you guess? Pink, blue, look, yellow, pink, blue, but apparently that's not 3 colours.
I mean, there's also green and white, so...
Yeah, but you didn't say it only had to be. Okay, let's go to the 6th prompt.
It's gotta be... It's gotta be a person showing their teeth.
There's no such thing as that. You joking, that? No.
No, it's fine.
It's not fine, is it? That's
I mean, it's fine. The next prompt is complete a series.
Sorry, I've actually got to read the last book and thing will continuously. I keep it back map. Oh no, actually complete it.
Complete it.
Oh, I'm excited. I've got 2.
Ha!
So big though. I really want to finish this series, but because the book is so big and it's the last book in the series, I've been so scared. But I mean, I have to do this, so I feel like I'm going to do it this month. And we are on the 7th prompt now. The final prompt. Okay.
What we got? What do we have that we can give you? A book with an A, E, and I.
I ended up going for historical fiction. I haven't picked a historical fiction in a while, and that is A Terrible Kindness. I think it'd be good to read historical fiction because I haven't in a while. And it's got an A, an E, and an I. So, yeah, there you go. You can check. So yeah, so for this month, I'm going to be reading A Terrible Kindness, God of Monsters, The Roughest Draft, Reckless Love, no it's not, Reckless Girls, Gallant, The Cove, The Therapist, and A Brush with Love. Hopefully I will be able to read all of these. I'm feeling positive to getting 8 books read again this month. So yeah, that's my April wrap-up, May TBR. Hope you guys enjoy it. And until next time, bye!
Bye!